have massive. We're live to air here on the Roots Reggae Hub. We're interviewing Empress Mino today. I'm excited to speak to the Empress. We're also live to air on Instagram, so if you want to join the video portion of this interview, come over to Instagram and join the conversation live tonight with Empress Mino. She's here already, so yes, bless up everybody who's tuned in on the radio and everyone on the live. Track playing live here on the Roots Reggae Hub. In this world, sides inside us. So let's focus on powerful message in the music from the Empress. I'm Shayna McCullough. You know how it goes. It's Melody Mondays. I'm gonna go ahead and send the invite. Keep your visions alive. Keep your visions alive, family. Yes, I know a change will come. Yes, I know a change will come. Once upon a time, we were living in the world. What's up, everybody tuning in? Nowadays, people living like strangers, no love for one another. I'm sure we know better, so let's watch what they teach till the youth of tomorrow. All right, I'm going to send the invite now to Empress Mino. Hopefully you get my invite here. Bless up everybody coming on in on the comment section. Thank you for joining me. It's Melody Mondays here with rootsreggaehub.com and Shayna McCullough. You know where to find us. You can tune in on the TuneIn app. You can tune in on the radio. Bless up.
Hey, greetings.
Greetings. How are you?
I'm great. How are you tonight?
Oh, good. I'm just playing with your levels here to make sure you're loud on the radio.
Okay.
Let me just turn you up a little bit.
All right.
Oh, yes. That sounds good. Perfect. I'm excited to speak to you.
Likewise.
I wanna talk to you. I hope you got my email. I was driving all day, so I didn't get to send it to the last minute, you know?
It's okay. I got it.
You look beautiful. Jamaica is doing your skin well.
Thank you so much.
I can't believe how Jamaica does your skin so good, eh?
I'm in the sun like every day. You know, I needed that. I needed vitamin D so much. And that's one of my main reasons why I'm here too.
Yes, it's so important for melanated skin, you know, to have that energy charge.
Yeah, most definitely. Yes. It's very important.
My eczema's gone when I'm in Jamaica. I have no more eczema.
Yes. The eczema?
Eczema, you know, for your skin.
Eczema. Oh, yeah. You know what? Like, I find that whatever you have, whatever type of disease or anything, any skin ailment, whatever it is, when you go to Jamaica and you're there for a little while, it tends to disappear. Because a lot of people have like arthritis pain, eczema, like inflammation, like whatever you name it. And when they come to Jamaica, there's something in the water or in the air or something, but it tends to disappear.
It's healing, man. The whole place is healing, from the food to the sunshine to the people.
Yeah,
you know.
everything. just everything.
I want to talk to you
Um,
about, you know, that move, deciding to move to Jamaica, well, forward back to Jamaica, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to talk to you a little
yes,
bit about that in a bit. But for the audience who might be listening in on the radio, because remember, we're live here on the radio as well as the video portion on
yeah.
Instagram. I want them to know if they've never heard your music, maybe never even discovered you because you're a gem, you know, it could be a hidden gem for some people. In your own words,
Uh,
let the people know who you are.
oh, okay. So Empress Minot, first of all, is a jovial person. You know, I'm a singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, and I just found out that I'm also an artist, a visual artist.
Yes, yes,
Yes, I found
I
it
saw
out.
that.
Yes, I just recently discovered that, and I'm just so amazed. I'm amazed at myself.
You know, that's so exciting for me to hear because it's like so often people say to themselves, oh, it's too late. You know, like I wanted to do this when I was in my 20s or when I was young, you know, in their minds, whatever young might
Yeah.
be. And then,
Hmm.
you know, they might have discovered a talent that they've had all along, like a God-given gift that they have, but
Yes.
they don't, you know, follow through because they think, oh, you know, I'm almost 40 or, you know, it's too late. But this is something that you've now discovered about yourself, a hidden gift.
Yeah. I now discover this, and that's so true. Like people would think that even painting is for children or younger, but no. Um, my childhood kind of hindered me from a lot of things. So now that I would call myself free, it's like everything is coming out, like everything, and I
Wow.
can't help it. You know what I mean? I was a little suppressed in my younger years. And then after that is motherhood. And you know, now I raise my daughter. She's doing great now. So now I think that I'm free and you know my mind is working like all the things that I didn't get to do when I was younger, I'm doing them now. It's all coming out. But
Incredible.
I can also give you the story of how the painting came along. So I was on Father's Day of 2022. I was crying. Like I was crying because my dad passed away, right? So I was there crying. I see everyone with their father and stuff like that. And it's like a spirit came to me and said, no, don't do that to yourself. Why are you crying like that? Don't do that. Go do some art. And remember, like, if I draw before, like, it's like crab toe. You know what crab toe is? Like when you write? That's how I used to draw. Like crab toe. So when I came home and I did my first painting, my daughter's like, Mom, how come you didn't tell me you had this talent? I'm like, I didn't know either.
Wow.
You know, so that was a recent discovery. Yes.
I love that. I love that. And I saw the
Mhm.
beautiful portrait that you did for Mally
Thank
Blast
you.
and Tanya P. You know, I was going
Thank
through
you.
some of your videos on YouTube and just, you know, doing my research and on you a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what a beautiful portrait. Like it was stunning. Like
Oh,
I would have thought
really?
you were doing this like as a career all your life.
Long time. Yeah, everybody says that. They're like, these painting look like you've been doing it for all your life. I'm like, no, I just started. Just started. But I find that once you focus and you put your mind to something, you can do it. You know what I mean? Anyone that focus and just put their mind to say, I'm doing this, and this is what you focus on, you are gonna get it done.
I love that. I might have to, you know, get you to paint a picture of me, maybe send you a picture or something that, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
that you can have as an example. Um,
yes.
yeah, I might have to commission your services, Empress.
Oh, thank you. I never stop painting either. Like the joy and that feeling that I get from it, I just keep doing it. every day. Like I put in a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, you know? I love it.
I love
And I'm
that.
so grateful for that.
I love that. It's so important to love what you do, and it shows as well that you love your
Yeah.
music. I like to start at the roots and foundations, what makes you who you
Yeah.
are, you know, the people that
Mm-hmm.
had a part to play in making you the woman you've become today. So tell me about your childhood, your family life growing up. How was that for you?
Okay, so I grew up in the beautiful parish of Portland, Jamaica. um, Growing up, my mom and my dad, they're Christians, right? And but the thing is, I fell in love with reggae music, but they didn't want me to listen to reggae music. So there's a sound in my area, like we live up on the hill, right? So when they turn the music on, the music just comes up, right? So you hear Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Coco T, Luciano, like all these music are coming up. So I used to um like get out the house like and not tell my mom, because if I tell my mom I'm going to the dance hall to listen to music, she's not gonna let me. So I used to like snuck out the house, and then I go out with my neighbor. You know, I just wanted to hear these music because it's calling me from off the hill. It's calling me, you know, literally. So I used to go and listen to music when I get back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's a belt waiting for me.
Oh, no, you get catch.
Yes. And I even want to go before that. My mom was the first person to record me on tape. You remember tape? My,
Yes.
yeah, my mom recorded me, herself, and my sister on tape. We were singing. Yeah, I wish I had that tape, but you know, tape is far gone.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been nice to hear my voice, but yeah, growing up in Jamaica was a lot of fun, and that's my fondest memories until today. You know what I mean? I love the rivers. I'm always at the rivers. Like I tell my mom, "Oh, mom, can I go to the river today?" She's like, "Nope." So what I do, I clean the whole house. I clean up outside. I do everything. And then she sent me. But then sometimes she's like, no. And those things kind of, you know, hurt me. But I see why she doesn't want me to go so many times. But yeah, growing up in Jamaica was fun.
Yes. I
Yeah.
envy anyone who, you know, has their childhood raised in the yard because, you know, the stories my mom told me and just the
Yeah.
fruits. Like, I'm a mango person, you know, I would love to
Yeah.
have a mango tree in my backyard.
I'm telling you, mangoes, my favorite.
Yes.
And then even that, I'm a person like this. I love going to the farm because when I go to the farm, I get fruits galore. You know what I mean? There's apples, rose apples, mangoes, measeberries, like you name it. And so I love going out there in nature. You know what I mean? I think that's where I developed all this nature vibe from since I was young. Yeah.
Yes, you're a natural empress for sure. I love your vibes and I love your natural beauty, of course, and your
Thank
stage
you.
presence. Like, there's so much, and the messages in your music are so important as well. Like, you're not just singing, you know, just something that people cannot relate. We can relate to these music. We can relate to
Yes.
your messages. We see what's happening in society, you know, and
Hmm.
everything is so relevant. That's
Yes.
happening still today that we are dealing with
Yes.
as a people. So I thought it was so
So true.
important to have you on the show, and you know, I like to showcase my Canadian talent, and you have roots here, of course, as well. And I
Oh,
love to showcase my Jamaican talent because you know, Jamaican, I'm a Jamaican, you
yes.
know, so I like to big up all the Jamaicans out there, of course.
Yes.
So tell me about the track work. I like to talk about that track because I like the rhythm that it's on, and you have a
Hmm.
saying. in the beginning of the
Yes.
track that you said your mother told you this saying, if you want good,
Yeah.
sometimes your nose have to
You
run.
know that's
And
right.
my mom used
Yes.
to
Yes.
say that her grandmother used to tell her that. So that's a saying, you know, that's very prevalent in the Jamaican
Yeah.
culture and and upbringing. Something you tell your children, it's passed down generation to
Yeah.
generation. Can you explain what that saying means to people?
Okay. So basically, I'll use it in the most simplest form. Like, no one likes to work. I'm going to use it back with work, right? Nobody wants to work. Nobody likes to work. And so, sometimes you just want to lay down in your bed. You don't want to get up. You don't really want to, get up and go to work. But there's a goal for you to get up to go to work. You're working on a goal. So in that case now, your nose is going to run, like you're going to cry. But at the end of the day, there's good coming out of it. You get what I mean? You're going to earn from it so you can propel to reach the next stage. So sometimes you have to just sit down, you have to just do what you have to do to get to the next level. And being at this level is not going to be easy. You know what I mean? So you have to just work it until you get to another level where it's a little bit better and a little bit better and until you work your way up. See, I'm wearing the shirt.
Hey, yes, I see. All right. So you got your branding on as well. Such an important
Yeah.
lesson because sometimes, you know, you're working at something, and because you're not seeing the gradual progression and
The
you want to see this thing
yeah.
happen like so fast and you want to
Mhm.
get to that end destination that
Level.
you envision,
Yeah.
it's so important, the lesson there, especially in that song as well, people.
Oh, thank you so much.
What inspired it? Like, how did you come to the idea of the lyrics? How does it typically work for you? Do you get the rhythm first and then the lyrics come, or is it the lyrics and then the rhythm? Like, how does your creative process work?
Actually, okay, so sometimes I'm in my bed, I'm sleeping, and the lyrics just comes. You know what I mean? And I have to get up out my bed and go write it. But most times it comes when I put the rhythm on and then I start to listen to the rhythm. And sometimes the rhythm tells me something, you know? Or sometimes I think about the topic that I want on the rhythm. And so I start to write to the rhythm. And sometimes I write on a rhythm that's not the original rhythm, but when I'm finished writing, I go to the studio and I get like the musicians to build the song, the rhythm around the song. So sometimes I use one rhythm to write, but then I build my own rhythm around it. But this song work, um, the producer HDEF, they sent me the rhythm and they actually wanted me to be on a compilation. It's other artists on it. So that song just came up because really and truly, sometimes I feel like laying down in my bed. I don't want to go to work. I really don't want to go to work, but I have to get up and go to work because when I think about the bills and stuff like that, and I have to help people and things like that, I have to go to work. You know what I mean? So that's really how it came about.
And your work got you to where you are today. And you
Yeah,
know that, especially with everything that you have going, entrepreneurship takes a lot of work,
yeah,
a
it
lot, a
does.
lot, a lot of work. People
Yeah,
don't understand how much goes into building a brand, building a business, whether it be a product or service. You
yes.
know, so hats off to
Right.
you. I love to support Black-owned businesses here on the Roots Reggae
Thank
Hub. That's what we
you.
support. And
Thank
I
you.
tell all artists, you know, if you're gonna do a record label, whatever works for you. Don't Not everyone might want to start a record label, but if it's something that you have thought about or dreamed about, it's definitely worth
Yeah,
pursuing. So kudos to you
worth it.
on those ventures.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what inspired your career in music? You know, was there a specific artist that maybe inspired you or a musical background something that was influenced, I guess, from your childhood? You said you heard the music playing from the hills. Is
Yeah.
that what really was like, okay, I have to start singing, this is for me?
No, that wasn't it at all. I started singing when I was like 4 or 5. And when I was at the age of, let's say around 9, 10, my dad looked at me and my dad is like, one day you're going to be a great singer. Yeah. And I kept that in my brain, right? So while I was in Canada now and I'm working, I'm always singing for my coworkers, like always singing around them. So one of my coworkers came and he said, "What are you doing here? Have you heard your voice?
Wow.
Do you know what kind of voice you have? You're a singer. You need to go and study the business." And that's exactly what I did. I took his advice and I started, and that was in 2006. 2006, yes. I took his advice and I started learning about the business. I started going around the industry and learning a lot of things. And, that's when I came out in 2007 with my song Stumbling Blocks. That's my first reggae song I came out with. But before that, in 2006, I was writing R&B music, right? But it wasn't sitting properly with my soul. I feel like this is not it. You know what I mean? Because there's some songs like I'm singing a little bit raunchy and stuff, and I'm like, nah, this is not me. So when I did Stumbling Blocks in 2007, I'm like, yes, the reggae just, it's set with me now. I'm like, yeah, you know? So that's
something. There's something about reggae music you can't explain. You feel it in your soul. You feel it just like this thing come over you. I don't know if it's like an ancestral thing in our DNA. Could be that. But, it's this powerful thing about it. Maybe it's also because there's so much, social and justice themes that, you're invested in, especially in your music and what you're saying. Like, I feel so invested when I'm listening to your songs and the messages in them. Can you tell me what you want people to feel when they hear your music? What's your musical mission?
Okay, so my music is to uplift and empower people. You know what I mean? A lot of people, I write my music like this. If I go through something and it was a little challenging and I manage to get myself out of that challenge, then I write songs to help people who are going through similar or same situation as I am to get themselves out of there. You know what I mean? And give people hope. Let them know that they're not alone and the sun will shine for you again. You know what I mean? Like, don't give up. Never give up. And that's basically how I write my songs. I write it with people in mind.
That's so important. And you know what? It's so true because we all go through struggles in life, stumbling blocks, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
pun intended. It's just like that's important that you can have these, especially music, because music can inspire you in times when you're down.
Yes.
Music can uplift you at your lowest moments. So to hear that you write your music with people in mind, knowing that they're going through the similar struggles as maybe you've gone through, is so sincere and genuine. And I love that about you. Like it is a natural healer type of thing to do.
Yeah. I see you do a lot of studies.
You are a natural healer in what you're doing musically, and your musical mission speaks to that. Your album received critical acclaim. It's still very relevant in the messages and the music. Like I said, people can apply it to their lives today. Can you tell me the creative process and inspiration? It does have some R&B elements as well, as you mentioned.
Yes, remember I was telling you?
It shows your versatility as well. Tell me the inspiration and the production and I mean, it's been quite some time. What have you learned since then, musically?
Okay. So, all right. When I first started out, I was trying to get like a producer or someone to produce my music. And everywhere I go is either they're like, oh no, you don't have a big name, or oh, I have to sleep with you first, or I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this really what I'm here to do? And I said to myself, you know what? They're turning me down and they're turning their back on me. I'm going to do this myself.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I just got up. I started writing. I wrote my songs and I took them to Jamaica. I produced about 80% of that album by myself, like out of my pocket.
Wow.
Yeah. I just took them and I'm like, you know what? This is me. And I'm using my voice and my talent. I'm not using my body to get there. I'm using the talent the God-given talent that I was blessed with, you know? And so, like I said, when I went to Jamaica, I went to, he passed away, Tixie. Tixie, the engineer, everybody knows him. He recorded me and we just put that music out, and I'm telling you, like, I've seen people call me and cry. They're like, Empress, this song touched me. This song touched me. This song is doing this for me. This song, and I'm like, really? Look, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, see, if I had sat down and said, oh, I'm not doing it because I'm not a big name or people don't know me or whatever the case is. If I did that, then those people who call me to say, Empress, your songs did this for me, they wouldn't have got it. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy that I took it upon myself to actually say, I'm gonna do this. And I did. I did.
So good to follow your vision, and there's so
Yeah.
many people that you touch that you can still touch with that
Yeah.
album. And I'm gonna be playing all your music out in full. I don't play the music out in full on Instagram because I'll be locked up in the jail. Instagram won't let me out. So
Yeah.
what I do is I create, a curated playlist of my favorite tracks
Yeah.
of yours. So for the radio listeners that are tuned in, they'll be able to take in all your music back to back to back with a curated
Aww.
playlist following our reasoning tonight. So that's typically how we do it here on Melody Mondays. So all the tracks
Okay.
we're talking about will be played following the interview tonight with Empress Minot. So stay tuned,
All
radio
right.
listeners.
Stay
And if,
tuned and listen up.
that's right. And if you're tuned in here on Instagram, then you're going to have to either ask your Google to play Roots Reggae Hub, ask Alexa, go to the TuneIn app, our website. There's so many ways you can listen. So if you do want to continue listening, and you do want to continue, trust me, because there's fire tracks on this curated playlist, then you got to keep it locked for the radio version, all right, after this. Anyone with questions, I see a question coming in on the comment box down below. There is a question box at the bottom right hand of your screen. I will get to a couple questions soon for Empress, all right? Tell me what your experience has been as a woman in the reggae industry. I know there's like a Reggae Divas event that happens here in Toronto. I'm not exactly sure who produces that event, but I know there's a Reggae Divas event that you were on here, and it's so important to highlight the females. I've been doing a lot of female interviews, a lot of empresses for the last month, because it was International Women's Month as well, but also because I like to rise up the women in the industry to showcase their talents. There's so many talented women, especially yourself. How has your experience as a woman in the reggae industry been? You kind of talked a little bit about it in a previous question about, having some producers try to swindle, diesel out kind of craziness. But how has it been for you overall as a representation?
Oh, wow. That's a big question. I've had good times and I've had bad times. You know what I mean? Okay. like being a female reggae artist is one of the hardest thing ever. Because if you're not doing certain things that they're telling you to do, you get blacklisted. I've been blacklisted. You know what I mean? Because I am not going to do something that is out of my character or out of my jurisdiction. You know what I mean? So I think the hardest part is getting that same equality. Like if a promoter brings artists from Jamaica into Canada, they get all the treatment. They get the special treatment. They get the big pay. They get everything. And I know that I'm doing the work as equal to them. I won't say I'm better than them, but I'm doing equal work. And when you're doing equal work and you're not getting that same reception, that's dangerous. You know what I mean? That's hard. And there's lots of biasness. There's lots of favoritism. There's lots of, wow, I can go on and on. But I'm gonna stick to the good part. The good part is I get on shows. I get to go do interact with my fans, and I love that part of it. Like when I sing, I love to interact with my fans, and that's the great part of, you know, being a reggae artist. But there's more bad than good, I think. I'm sorry to say we need to change certain things.
Yes.
Yeah. We
Yes.
have a big platform in Canada. We have lots of talented artists, lots of talented artists in Canada. But we need to change some mentality, some, you know, the way we think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's important, that message, because, you know, you're not the first female reggae artist that has told me certain things have happened to them. I've been doing this show for about 2 years almost, and it hasn't been the first thing I've heard. And there's solutions. Like a lot of your music also speaks of solutions, and that's what I love about you. Because, you know, if you're gonna touch on the problem, that's why, you know, you have to touch on the solution. And for me, it's a lot. For me, I feel like the unity, the unifying of the female reggae artists, the livity, the, you know, upliftment from people like myself, the women that are DJing, and the, you know, the women that have platforms such as myself to uplift and create our own avenue, to highlight. You don't have to go through these gatekeepers, so to speak. If there's women that are the producers, if there's women that are the engineers, if there's women that have the radio stations.
Yes. Yeah. Big up on that one.
So that's, you know, it's such an important thing, you know, back to the entrepreneurship, you know, being able to take control. You had to produce your album yourself, you know, and Natural Healer is a success in your own right. So I love that. What does it mean to be a natural healer?
To be a natural healer means you're an empath. You feel sorry for everything and everyone, but you have solutions for all that is going on. There's solutions. And I can tell you how my name Natural Healer came about. And you know what's funny? The daughter of my cousin is online right now, Shani, and I'm getting goosebumps. I'm going to tell you how I got the name.
Yes.
So her mom was very sick, very sick. She hasn't been out of bed in like 2 weeks, right? So I went there. And while I was there, my palms, like, they start to pump water. Like, I could fill the room with water, like, you know what I mean? And it's like a mind, something said to me, use it and like wipe her down, like her whole body. And that's what I did. I like did all of that. And in about 5 minutes or less, she got up and she started dancing to my music. And she told me that she felt like 50 birds flew off her chest.
Oh my God.
And so my other cousin is now, he's like, are you an natural healer? Are you an natural healer? So I just did what the spirit said. You know what I mean? I'm not, I wasn't even aware that I did something like, you know what I mean? Now, the person, my cousin that said, are you a natural healer? His dad was sick, like sick in bed. And I went to his house and the same thing happened. My palms, it start to pump water like crazy. I did the same thing to him. And guess what? The next morning, he's a farmer. The next morning, he got up, got his water boot, got his things, and he went to work. And he was out of work for a couple of weeks or so.
Wow.
You know what I mean? The next morning, he got up and he went to work. And I don't really see him get sick again. You know what I mean?
I need some of your blessings to wash over me right now.
I think that too because I don't eat meat, right? So it's like it's a pureness coming out. And then by words, like my words, I don't like to see people sad. That's my dad too. I don't like to see people sad. And so if you're around me, wherever you are, I like to say things to you. I know words to say to you to make you happy, to keep up your spirit, to keep your spirit alive. I know those things, you know what I mean? So I just use words and stuff to help the mass.
Yes, I love that. And there, there's a spiritual community, and it's a little bit different, I think, from livity, like living in spirit or conscious living. But they have a name for what you're describing, and they say it like Reiki, I think is the word, where they use their hands and the energy.
Yes, I know what that is.
Yeah, so it's like you're a natural Reiki master. Like you didn't have to take a class for this.
That I never did.
I love that. And big up all the empaths, because you know who you are. You know, the empaths in the world. We change things, we move things, we make things happen. So big up all the empaths out there. You know, you can't be an empath and not feel for people or not feel what someone else is going through and be able to sympathize and empathize with them. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Let's talk a little bit more about your spiritual journey. I'd love to hear about what makes people who they are spiritually and how they've evolved as a human being. Tell me something you've learned or maybe something that you experienced specifically in your life at a time that totally changed your perspective on life and livity along the way.
Okay, so in 2007, I was going through like a rocky time in my life, and I was lost. I was crying. I was just in a place of not knowing, right? So one of my brethren was on the computer. I remember I sent a message. I'm like, I'm just here crying. I don't know what to do and blah, blah, blah. So he sent me back a message, and that message is what changed my life forever. The message, he said, God said to rid yourself of all negativities. Sis, when I tell you, I scream out because I'm like, yes, this is the answer that I need. Like, this is what I need. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I cried out. After that, I sat down and I put my life in front of me. I put everything in front of me. And all that was bad is like I pick it down, pick it out. Places I was going, things I was doing, things I was eating, like everything. I just picked them out. And I'm telling you, sis, that day changed my whole life. I mean, I lost friends. I lost, I got bored along the way because when you lose friends and you're not going certain places and stuff, you're going to get a little bored. But I'm telling you, at the end of that, there is like you're renewed. You're a renewed spirit, and it's like you can do anything. It gives you that vibe, like you can actually do anything. You know what I mean? And that was my revelation. That was my changing point in 2007. Telling, and that's when my spiritual level came about.
Okay. Yes. Sometimes it's words from a stranger. Sometimes it's, you know, a revelation, something that someone says to you. It could be literally someone you don't even know sometimes, and it could change your perspective totally on life. And taking away the negative and making room for the positive is such a good way to focus inward, and you learn more about yourself and discover yourself. So yeah,
a lot more about myself. Yeah, I was like, wow, really? Oh my gosh. I learned so much.
Yes, Michael Lindsay says you didn't lose them, you just found yourself. True.
Michael, yes, it's so true.
Yes,
for real. Thank you so much.
I want to talk about this coffee, because I'm a coffee drinker.
Oh, you are?
I can't start my morning like I'm a coffee. I have to do my coffee and my sage and my, you know, I have my little morning thing that I do. I saw you promoting some coffee on your page.
Yes.
Can you tell me
I'm going to have to do something. Okay, so basically I'm part owner of a coffee company called Swift River Mountain Coffee. This has been in the making for years. So my owner, my partner, he has like a big coffee farm, and he was about to give up. You know what I mean? So one day we were talking, and he's like, you know what? I'm done with the coffee thing and whatever. So I'm like, no, let's come up with something, because you have a daughter. He has a daughter, and he wants to do something for his daughter. So I'm like, let's do the coffee. We'll be in partnership, and then you can use that to take care of your daughter. You know what I mean? And so he's like, yes, 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 let's do this, let's do this. So it's been in the making for years, but now it's actually here, and I'm so happy. I'm so joyful, you know, to see that something comes from a thought. And it's here now. I have the product in my hands. You know what I mean? So it's amazing. And I know there's a lot of coffee drinkers out there.
Oh, like yes. I have definitely one of them.
Especially in Canada. So, yeah, I already got like a lot of orders already from some people. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow, this is really going to take off.
Oh, definitely. So tell people where they can get your coffee. What's the best way to reach out to you to get some, order some? Do you do like business, like blog, I guess, bulk type orders?
Yes. Okay, so for now I'm doing singles, and they can go to ST. It's on ST, Swift River Mountain Coffee. And you can also go to iGlow products, because it's under iGlow. iGlow is actually my brand, and then it comes under iGlow products. So you can go to iGlow products on Instagram or on ST, Swift River Mountain Coffee. Yes.
River Mountain Coffee. You hear that, coffee drinkers? So I'm going to get myself some, because yes, I don't start a morning without it, except for like a Sunday morning. I might skip it or whatever. But if it's a work day for me, it's on with the coffee. So I'm really excited to try it, and of course I'll be sharing it on the Roots Reggae Hub. I have a little story section where I share all Black owned businesses. And I definitely am going to support the movement Empress.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.
And tell me about, you know, the record label, Reality Records Ltd, is it?
Yes, Reality Records. Yes, that was founded, actually, it was founded in Jamaica in 2009. And forever since, like all my singles, I put under my label, Reality Records Limited. Yes.
How
So
important
that's
was
my
that for you? Like, why did you decide to do that?
To be honest, I, I need to own my stuff. And that's the best and easiest way to own all your music, all your masters. So it's best to have a label. If you don't have a label, then when you put your music out, you're not getting everything back. Most of it is going to the label. You know what I mean? So sorry about the baby in the background.
That's okay. That's okay. I thought it was my cat. So I was like,
it's my little niece. It's my little niece.
oh.
Yeah, so it's best to have a label. I'm telling you. It works out better for you as an artist, as an independent artist.
Important lesson for all the artists. I love to talk tips and, you know, things that other people have gone through, what works for certain artists, what works for others. It might not work for everybody, but ownership is so important when it comes to releasing music. We've seen like so many of the legends, the icons, the reggae, you know, the reggae icons that paved the way for us, and some of their family members are not profiting, are not seeing a dime from the music and their legacy that is still, you know, people are still playing their music around the world. These are like Wailers, like Bunny, and like big people that you would think that their family should be seeing.
They're not. See, the thing is, you have to set certain things. Okay, music is 90% is business. 10% is only performance. So you have to set certain things. You have to set all parts of the business before you can even go out there and perform. And what I used to do, I used to just go out there and perform, and I didn't know nothing. You know what I mean? Now I learn a lot of things, and I know that I have to put things in place before I go out there.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. That's some knowledge. And I love talking about, you have so many different hats, essentially. Record label, coffee, you're doing the artwork, like there's so many avenues for you, you know, not only to follow your vision, but to make an income, to be able to live happy, to support your daughter, and to be able to live in Jamaica, living your best life. Like, I'm ready to pack up my stuff right now. Like, I'm like, my family has, you know, land in Stony Hill, and I'm like, I want to move. I don't want to be here.
Girl, let me tell you, man.
Let me ask you, actually, what was the final straw, or what was the decision that said I have to live my best life in Jamaica? Like, how did that happen for you?
Okay, to be honest, during the winter time, I get a very bad depression. One, because I'm lacking vitamin D. Two, because I'm not really seeing people. I feel like I'm in jail. And yeah, I just get really, really bad. Like, you wouldn't expect a person like me to get that. But the cold, I
totally get it.
I can't. So I like wintertime, I like to be in the heat. And so I've decided that this is what I want to do. Like, wintertime, I really don't want to be in the cold. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm back and forth.
That is easy. That is an easy decision, hands down. I was like, most of this winter, I wasn't even here. I said, I'm gone. I gotta go. Like,
yeah,
see you in March.
It's not. I'm telling you. Like, I get so depressed, and I'm like, why? Like, I mean, I drive. I have a warm place, and you know what I mean. But it's not the same.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not the same.
I totally feel you. I totally feel you on that. I want to talk about some more of your tracks. Tell me about You Can featuring Loyal Flames. I love, you've worked with a lot of artists. You know, you've collaborated with a lot of artists over the years. Tell me about that track. I do love it. I love your combination of your voices together. What's the production? What was inspiring the track?
Okay, so You Can, if you listen to the beginning of that track, like when I was talking to a girl and she said she's given up now, and her last resort is to go do what she wants to do. That's actually a real conversation. Wow. And it happened like probably like 5 years prior to that song. So one day I came home and I was in my driveway. I was sitting in the car and the song just came to me. Like even without a rhythm, I didn't have a rhythm for that song. The song just came. And when I was singing it, it sounded like it needed a male on it. Because it's like I'm speaking to these are like younger people. So having that male now, it helps. It enhances the song, and it's speaking to the young boys and the young girls, like, you know what I mean? So I called up Loyal Flames. After I wrote the song, I called him up and I'm like, you know, I have a song and I would love to have a DJ on it and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, man, what you talk about? Yeah, man, don't send it to people, man. Just come in, man. So then I went to Jamaica and I went to New Life Studio. And Loyal Flame came over and, you know, we wrote his part in the studio on that same day. So his verse was like, we wrote it in the studio together. And yeah, we just recorded it. And that song, till today, I love that song. I really love it. And a lot of people love it too. Whenever I perform that song, like, people are like, pull up, come on. Yes. So it was a good song, you know. It still is.
I shared a little clip of you performing one of your tracks. I think it was Freedom.
Freedom, okay.
And I shared it on Instagram today. And I just love your performance, your stage presence. You look fire. Your outfit is fire. Like there's just something incredible about you. Like the aura that you have on stage. Have you ever had, like, was that something you always had? Like, did you ever have stage fright going on, or was it something that you were just like that? Like, you seem very confident, and you're just like giving it, you know?
I do get stage fright, like before, not now, but before I used to get it. But once I get this mic in my hand, it's over.
Yes.
I don't remember about stage fright or what that's called. What is that again?
It's like a staff, like it's like power in your hand.
I'm in a different world, man. I'm telling you. And then I love to see when the people are dancing, and that gives me more energy, more to do it. You know what I mean? I love to interact with them and stuff like that. So yeah, trust me, I'm a different person on stage.
I love it. Tell me how important your collaborations are to you. Is there any other artists that you would like to collaborate with in the future? How has it been with past collaborations? Who's been your favorite so far?
Well, I don't want to say favorite, but I love working with Loyal Flames. He was a good person to work with. I also work with Razor B and Rasyanchi. I know you know Rasyanchi, right?
Yes. And Nanny, did you have one with Nanny Mystic too?
Yeah. I had one with her too. Yes. I love that. So having collaborations is very, very important because it shows your versatility, and second, it shows that you can actually work with people. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's important. And I would love to do a collaboration with Junior Gong.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he's like, yeah.
I would
I love
love
his
to see
voice.
that.
I love his voice, like, and his lyrics. And because he's the son of Bob Marley, which is my favorite.
Yes, legendary.
I have a favorite artist, yes.
Yeah. Well,
And
I'm
that's
excited. I
Bob.
would love to see that. I would have to be like, Don, you heard it here first on Melody Mondays. We got to see a track. Members, why not? And you, because, man, your voices go get together really well, too, like the flow of it.
Yes, thank you so much.
I'm going to ask
I
a
would
quick
love that.
question from the audience. I see a question popped up here.
Yes.
You probably get this question a lot. Steve wants to know, are you related to Sugar Minott?
Everybody asks.
I know, I figured.
Yes, Steve. Sugar is actually my cousin. They think I'm his daughter. Like everywhere I go, people think I'm the daughter, but I'm actually the cousin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it runs in your family, clearly the talents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's very important to honor our ancestors and our family members and all that good stuff. That
Yes,
especially when you see
definitely.
that you have this talent that runs in the family, it's a gift. You know, you're gifted
Mhm.
and blessed in many
Thank you.
ways.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about your track Change. It came out in 2020, I believe, or 20, was
Yes,
it 2020? Yeah.
2020.
And it's an important track because there's so much messages in the track. There's so much
Mhm.
that someone can learn from it. What did you want? What were you trying to say in that track? And tell me about the concept as well, and production, inspirations, all that stuff.
Okay. So this track, I actually wanted people to know that um something shifted. That's the first thing. Because when I was growing up, everyone was so happy and friendly with each other. You don't pass people on the street. You're like, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good night, you know? And I did not see that amount of fighting between each other. So with this track now, I'm trying to tell people like, we know better. Fighting does not bring anything good. We all been seeing that forever. So now we have to try something different. You know what I mean? Spread love, share love, like caring and sharing. And the youths, we have to be an example for the youths.
Yes.
They have to emulate us. So we have to put out things that they can, you know, see us as role models and stuff like that. So change came about because also because I saw what was going on with the whole pandemic. I saw that.
Yeah, we all
And
did. At least those that
yeah,
were paying attention, yeah.
so I kind of wanted people to know that we are all we have.
Yes.
We are all we have. And fighting against each other is not going to do it for us because we already have them fighting against us. So why should we fight against ourselves?
Yes. Such a powerful
So
message, and you know, sisters and brothers, when you say it and you sing it, and I feel it, and I would love to see a change, you know, and I would love to also see a change in the music. I hate to be the
yes,
bearer of bad news, but you know, recently there's been sound
definitely.
systems retiring in Japan because, you know, they're saying that the music is not the same, you know, and
It's
they're
true.
losing like the passion that they had
Yes,
for reggae music because of the changes. And
yes,
not the
and
good
they're actually
changes that you speak about. This is the bad changes that were.
bad changes, and they're actually creating their own reggae artists now. So whenever they have a big show, it's their artists, not us. They created. There's so much reggae artists in Japan and Europe and stuff like that. Like it's almost like we are being shut out now. But I
Yeah,
can
there are so many artists.
see.
Let me tell you, Empress, I get artist submissions in my inbox in all languages singing reggae.
Yes.
French singing reggae music. Spanish, I speak reggae music. I'm telling you, like, every language, German reggae music, I'm getting in my email. Because I say, listen, I play reggae music from around the world. And that's why they email me, like, I get hundreds of emails, you know, going through these music. But it's so important that, like, the tradition and where reggae music came from and the foundation of reggae music and the real soul behind it and the messages behind it. You know, it's not, it's not, reggae music isn't all about the dancing or it's about the message in it, you know?
You know, I think people get the wrong thoughts about reggae and dancehall. It's two different genres. Reggae and dancehall is two different things, but people who does not know, they think it's the same thing, and it's totally not. You know what I mean? Reggae is the grassroots. Reggae is speaking about what you've been through, things to uplift you. Like what is the world, what's going on around the world, like it's and it's more on a spiritual vibe. You know what I mean? What is going on right now is like the dancehall side took over. And with the dancehall side, it's more like you can sing about the bad man, the this, the that. You know what I mean? With the dancehall, so it's like people hear that and they're like, oh, this is what reggae is, this is what reggae comes to. No, it's two different genres. So you can't really say, because he's singing like this with the gun lyrics and stuff, you can't say it's reggae. It's not reggae. But like I said, people who does not know, they're gonna think it's reggae, and they don't want to accept that type of music in their country. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
a lot of people, they don't, and it's sad because I saw the new update on the iPhone. I'm getting a little bit off topic now, and we're gone a little bit over, but it's important to touch on this with you, and I get your insight. You know, I saw the new update on the iPhone because I have Apple products all around my house. So I was like, they have this new thing with the iTunes now that you can sing along to the song. And they show you the lyrics, and they have all these different genres, but reggae is not one of them. Reggae's totally left out of the genres, but they got like Latin pop, they got like all kinds of different subgenres of pop, subgenres of rock, and they don't have reggae music as a genre. There's no option for you to sing along to reggae music. I mean, we're speaking English, you know, it's a broken English, but it's still English. So I found that discouraging a little bit. And also along the lines of what I'm hearing coming out of Japan, that the music isn't the same and all this. And you're totally right. Reggae and dancehall are two separate entities that are put together in the minds of many. I'm not sure what this comment means, Adrian A. Bass, saying reggae music is the propaganda pushing Rastafari messages. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not too sure, but I know that there's a lot of Rastafarian messages in the music, if that's what he's trying to do.
They call it the King's music.
King's music. And big up all the flagman Judah and all the important people that raise the flag for the reggae artists, because they do a great job. So what do you feel about this? What do you think can be done? Because you're about the solutions and you're doing it yourself within your own music. So what do you feel we can do on a grander scale?
Well, I think that we can support each other more. Like whenever reggae shows are happening, they get the least support. And why is that? You're going there from messages to help you. You're gonna heal yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna uplift you. So why is it that the reggae events, the venues are not full? You know what I mean? We need to support more. We need to actually embrace the artists with the message. We need to show them that they're what do you call it now? They're recognized, and like we appreciate them, because doing this thing is not easy. Like if I should take up the reggae and do let's say I'm doing dancehall, I'd be further right now. You know what I mean? Like if I was doing dancehall music, let me tell you. But because I'm doing reggae and the message, a lot of people are afraid of the truth, afraid of the message, and that's what it is. But when you're actually in tune and you get into it, then, you know, but I think we need to support more when it comes to the music. And it will be a genre, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yes.
I'm going to take another question. That's a good answer. I love that. I love that answer. Supporting the people around the world and the messages that are, you know, supporting the right message is important.
Yeah.
The message that aligns with the foundations of what reggae music stood for and still stands for today. The reason why Bob Marley could sell out a stadium with thousands and thousands of people, you know, back to Bob again. He still lives on. He's still living on today in his own way for his children and his grandchildren. Big up Bob Marley. We have a question from the Queen, Tanya P. Big up yourself, Tanya.
Tanya P, big up yourself.
She says, what are some of your stumbling blocks being an artist based in Canada? If you could perform anywhere in the world right now, where would it be? So those are two questions. What were some of the stumbling blocks being based here in Canada? And if you could perform anywhere in the world right now, where would it be?
Okay. So, stumbling blocks. Wow, girl. We know. We both know. I think the shows, that part of it, like not being treated equally as other artists that comes from another country. Underpaid. Wow. I could go on and on, but those are the main things, the main stumbling blocks. And then when I put my money into production, and then I put my music out, and then I don't get that support, that's another stumbling block again. You know what I mean? Because if I'm making the music, and then your job is to put it out now, because after I finish making the music, the production, then you now, for example, you as the DJ, you would have to take that song and promote it, put it out there, right? Yeah. A lot of DJs don't do that. And so it's harder to get the work out. That's another stumbling block again. And yeah, I there's a lot, but I can't think of them right now.
Those are main ones. Like those are the major ones I think that you brought up. I think there's an issue too here. I hate to say it, but Toronto's labeled the hater capital of the world, or you know what I mean, for a reason. It's like they want to see you succeed elsewhere before you can succeed here at home, and it's a sad thing.
Yes.
But it keeps on coming up, so it must be true. And I have a larger following in the U.S. than I even do in Canada, and I'm based here in Canada. But I have,
see that?
I have my listeners are in the U.S. than in Canada. So it's like,
true.
You know, I get the stats to prove it. You know, Canada's second, then Jamaica, then the UK, New York, Brazil, and Indonesia to the top places. But to see Canada come a second.
It should have been Canada, right?
Canada should be at top, right? Because I'm representing three Canadians. I'm promoting the Canadian talent, of course, and I mean, yeah, it's a funny thing, but those are good answers. And she also asked, where would you like to perform if you could perform anywhere in the world?
I would love to perform on the motherland right now. They need me.
It's calling you.
Yes. The motherland needs me, and my people need to hear certain things. You know what I mean? They need a refreshing vibe to let them know that, you know, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. Yes. Just keep a positive vibe.
Anywhere
Always
specific,
keep
or just as long as you touch with it in Mama Africa, you're good?
just the motherland. The motherland.
So she's
Yes.
coming. Empress is coming. So be on the lookout for it to Africa,
Yes.
everybody. We have another question. Okay, I'll take one more question, then we're gonna wrap it up. From Fry Boss.
Welcome, Tanya. Shani,
What would be your greatest wish to all the upcoming artists who are inspired by you?
Oh, I would love to see them excel in what they're doing, because we all have different messages. We have one aim and different messages. So I would love to see them come out and spread their message like wildfire.
Yeah. Strength on top of strength, power on top of power. You guys are hearing it. All of it is coming up too, with the music to back it up. Right after our reasoning, we're about to wrap it up here for my radio people. Stay tuned. I have a few more questions to ask you really quick. Tell me about the track Bless Us. It's a positive, note to leave this reasoning on. How important is that track to you and the production?
Okay. So Bless Us. That track was produced by DJ Records up there in Canada. Yeah, he's a very conscious person, and so putting out a song like Bless Us is the type of music that he listens to and promotes. Yes. And Bless Us is about telling the Most High that the children here on this earth are suffering, and they're suffering for no reason, because we can do better. We can help. You know what I mean? We don't have to sit back and watch people suffer. We can actually help. And that's what I'm basically saying. Like, your children here are suffering, and all they need sometimes is just a little hug or embrace to let them know that you're gonna be okay. And yeah, and just it's a song to keep us from evil, keep us away from evil.
That's what I felt. I was like, this is powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, so it has many meanings to it. You know what I mean? But it's basically to protect us from backbiters, and I don't like to say bad mind, but yeah, those type of.
We know it with them people that don't. But we bless us and bless the children, all right?
Yeah.
Because they are our future, and you talk a lot about that in your music as well, like teaching the youth the right way. Sisters and brothers working together, all very important messages, and of course messages that we as well motivate and strive for, and show people that that's the way to go.
Yes.
Because it's unity above everything else. And especially for the children, especially for them, because they're our legacy, they're the future, they're creating, what's to come. And if we don't teach the correct things to our children, the world is just going to continue to go upside down.
Right.
It's been going. So we got to make a shift. So that's a track I can wake up and play every day in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, you wake up, I got my coffee. Now that I got my coffee, now I got my I'm blessed for the day. Like, there's certain things, and it's important to protect yourself and do, surround yourself with light and whatever you need to do to envision yourself protected. Of course, prayer works for a lot of people as well. And just I like to honor my ancestors and do like little things along the way. that are protection for you and your loved ones as well, right?
That's right. That's very important. It's very important, you know, because this world is not what I thought. You know what I thought before? I thought everyone was like as nice as I am. Like, I thought the world, everybody was like me. You know what I mean? So I was so naive until certain experiences start to happen. I'm like, that's how people are? Like, really? Yeah. So yeah, you have to protect yourself and your family. You know?
Thank you for that. Any upcoming projects that you want to tell us about? I mean, you have so much going on already. The coffee, record label, the music, the painting. Is there anything you want to share? I'll give you, you know, the last moments to share anything that you might be excited about.
Well, I'm excited about my new video. I won't say much. I can't say much.
Okay, so we gotta keep our eyes open on your Instagram page.
Keep the eyes and the ears open.
A video coming out. Okay, it's music related.
It's music, yeah.
All right.
You know what?
You're in the place to do it.
Yes, definitely. Music is my first love. You know what I mean? So anything else is like a branch of my music, you know? So yeah, I'm always gonna be writing music and doing some things pertaining to music.
I love it. And that's what I love to hear because I love your music. So I'll be keeping my eyes open, keeping my ears open for that video coming up. What's the most memorable moment in your career so far? What really is a highlight that stands out for you?
Okay. Do we have a little time?
Yeah.
I can talk like a couple minutes? Okay. So Tanya P's on here too, and she is my witness.
Okay, bear witness, Tanya.
Ottawa, was it Ottawa? Ottawa Reggae Festival. Tanya P and I did that. I think it was 2009, around there. And while I went on the stage and I did my songs. The last song I did now was Stumbling Blocks. So while I was coming off the stage, the host called me back and said, Empress, we can't let you get off this without you telling us how did that song came about. So then I started to remember, because my dad freshly passed away, right? And I remember all the stumbling blocks that I was going through, like all the stress and, you know. And I remember I was telling her, and I went like this while I was telling her, sis, the whole entire place was crying. Tanya B's on there, even her, she was crying too. Like everyone was crying.
Oh my gosh.
And I looked out in the crowd and I was like, oh my gosh. When I was coming off the stage, this man is like, woman, you're powerful.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like everyone was crying. And it's because of my song Stumbling Blocks.
Wow. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Like, music is actually a powerful thing, man. I'm telling you. Music is power.
It really
you know?
is.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing this gift with the world, Empress Minot. You have an amazing talent. You have many amazing talents. And, you know, you dropped a lot of gems tonight in this interview. So I'm excited for everybody who's going to watch it, who's, of course, who joined us tonight, who listened on the radio. Bless from everybody, the Reggae Master Worldwide. Hashtag Reggae Fam, you know how it goes here on Melody Monday. So I thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for taking the time, of course, out of your busy entrepreneurial lifestyle. You're also a mother. Thank you for taking the time to talk about your music tonight, to reason with me on your life and everything.
Yes.
Tell everybody as well where they can find you, because I want people to be able to find you on YouTube and Facebook, and you're on Twitter as well. And spell it out for radio listeners that, you know, they can't see, so spell it for them as well. All
right. So my business page is at iGlow Products, and that's at IGLOPRODUCTS on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's at Empress_Minot. So that's EMPRESS_MINOTT. And on YouTube, it's Empress Minot Official. Okay?
So are we gonna have to be
can,
checking the YouTube page for the video that's coming? Or?
oh yeah, I'll post it on Instagram. I'll let them know.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
ready for it,
I'll
Empress. I'll be spying on you, and I'm like looking at your stories. And I saw you sharing some stories like of your life, and what's happening in Jamaica, and it just I'm living vicariously through you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like living your best life, looking at you on a boat and everything. I'm like, oh. Oh my God. I'm like, the lake water here is not the same.
It's not. It's so different. You have to come to Rod. Come to Jamaica.
Yeah, I have to come. I'm packing my bag. I said I'll be on you tomorrow. As soon as possible. Thank you again, Empress Minot, for joining me tonight. Thank you for sharing your gift of music with the world. And yeah, it's been really nice. I've had such a great time music with you and getting to know you better, of course. And for anyone who's tuned in on the radio, keep it locked here. I got a curated playlist of Empress Minot music coming up, back-to-back tracks for you guys. All right. Thank you again.
It has been my pleasure, and I want to thank you so much for reaching out to me. And, we're getting this interview done. I'm very grateful. I never actually met you before, and this has brought like a different level to us. You know what I mean? And we're going to keep in contact.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank all my fans for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Empress Minot. I'm Shayna McCullough signing out on the Roots Reggae Hub. See you guys next Monday, 8 o'clock. You know how it goes. Signing out with Empress Minot, and this is her curated playlist coming up, so keep it locked. One love, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.